what they can expect.
I'm a kind of a free spirit, free-flowing footballer. Like to take risks, make things happen, kind of change games and be a difference maker in the game, and wherever that might take, whether it be a goal, assist, even defensively, I just want to bring what I can to the game to try and make an impact and a difference, and I'll always do my best to do that. I'll always try and make a difference. I don't just want to be out there for the sake of it. I want to show the fans why I'm here and what I'm about, really. So yeah, I'm gonna be trying to give my all into doing that and give back.
Yeah, he's a Chelsea man. Flex, what did you think when you first heard that news?
Shocked.
Really?
Nearly fell off my seat. Just because of it just looked like this was Arsenal's deal. Of course, we've learnt a lot from transfer windows and understanding that nothing's done until it's done. But I just really thought Arsenal had a clean sweep at this. And Chelsea hadn't really been mentioned. They hadn't been linked. Obviously, behind the scenes, they know what they're doing. But in terms of publicly, you don't normally get clubs the size of Chelsea with this type of money being thrown around where you're not really sure who else is in. And it just seemed like a one-horse race. But and the fact that when I was sort of reading what Ornstein was saying when this was breaking, that Xabi Alonso was instrumental in it, this was like a bit of a choice for Morgan Rogers to choose that. But then as time's gone on, a lot of Arsenal fans and other reports saying, no, not necessarily. Arsenal never did bid the 117. It wasn't a choice between A and B. Arsenal never bid. But maybe Arsenal didn't bid because they didn't get the assurances from the player, because he made it clear he didn't want to go. So we'll never know. You'll always get different stories. But I think it's a brilliant signing. We can talk about value of the market or lack of, and talk about excessive fees and inflation, which all is true, and that is a separate discussion. But one thing that is also a separate discussion is nobody talks about the price when the players deliver. You know, nobody talks about the fact that Caicedo cost over 100 million. Declan Rice, Arsenal fans call him half-price Rice. You know, all the time. We didn't give West Ham enough. But what we do talk about is Florian Wirtz last year. What we do talk about is Enzo Fernandez at times, even though he's starting to show a little bit. You know, we do talk about, you know, Anthony being £80 million, Mudryk being 88. So the players who don't perform, we talk about. The players who do perform, the price tag is quickly forgotten. So I think with what they're trying to build, Chelsea, we need to have conversation markers, because I'm going to be honest with you. I might get worried.
You're worried, are you?
If they recruit how I think, if they recruit along the lines of what this looks like, and that's not every signing being 117. I mean, I've seen them linked with Maxence Lacroix, John Stones. They've had a bid of £65 million turned down for Alex Scott. You see what they're doing. You see where this is going. It seems like they've learnt their lesson of just only going to just get these young guys with no experience.
Well, they've had one or two leave, of course. Marco Correa, Enzo Fernandez at the time of this live show.
Disgrace.
He's going. I mean, will Morgan Rogers be happy to see him again? I don't know. What I would like to know is what Chelsea fans are thinking about all this. So we welcome now Jonathan Kydd from the Chelsea Fancast podcast. Jonathan, lovely to have you with us.
And you too, Marcus, and you too, Flex.
Nice one, mate. Nice one.
Thank you for having me.
So, Jonathan, you heard what Flex was saying there about Morgan Rogers. It surprised him. It surprised me as well. You know, the price tag, as Flex quite rightly is saying there, I agree, will come into focus if Morgan Rogers doesn't deliver. But price tag aside, I mean, this, Jonathan, is a great signing for Chelsea, is it not?
It's fantastic. It's wonderful. But you know, have they gone mad? I didn't understand.
Chelsea gone mad
after a season of complete and utter useless, total mediocrity. I thought actually getting Alonso was a brilliant coup in the first place as a manager. But the thing is, where is he going to play? Where's well,
I think he's going to play in a left or right 10. I think if you look at how Xabi Alonso usually plays, less so at Real Madrid, but I think he's going to do a 3-4-3, like what Ruben Amorim used to have.
There you go.
Yeah, but he'll play it a lot better. I think you got wing backs, and then you got maybe Caicedo. As it stands, Caicedo and Enzo.
Yep.
But this is why he tried to get Alex Scott. And then ahead of that, you've got Palmer and Rogers in like twin 10 positions, and behind João Pedro. That's mouthwatering.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think of that?
They're great players. Those three are great. Those three are great players, actually. Well, Palmer had a dreadful season last season, but on the basis of his previous seasons, if he can get him to play as well as as he did before, you've got three fantastic players. I mean, I think it's a wonderful signing, but I'm bemused as to what Alonso's role is in this now. You know, what is he? Is he the manager? Is he allowed to suggest all these signings? I mean, they've got all the other people who've come in anyway. They've got these other guys. They've got Quenda and Amiga, and apparently they're after. Is Barco a signing yet? He's supposed to have come in. I thought Barco was going to be there from Strasbourg. Where's he going to play? I mean, I have to say I'm immensely pleased at the prospect, because we all thought that, you know, if Alonso hadn't appeared, that we might get relegated. It was so absolutely dreadful that we actually us on the Fancast, we worked out we only wanted to keep Caicedo, James, Hato, Palmer, Colwell and Estevao. All the rest could go.
Oh, what, even Pedro? No João Pedro?
Yeah. Oh, he had a dreadful season. He wouldn't ever take anybody on.
Yeah,
It's quite magnificent. It's magnificent watching. They were stifled by the straitjacket of Maresca, because Maresca is really fearful play all the time. If you don't see an out ball, you don't see anybody in the centre, you just play it back. Gusto was destroyed by it. I'm intrigued to see whether Gusto will actually flourish now playing the wing back, because he was very good in his first season. Ever since, his default is to play it back to the goalie, and that was what happened all the time. All the default was to play it back to the goalie. I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen at City with Maresca. He's a dreadful manager. I'm sorry.
He's
absolutely.
I mean, to be fair, Jonathan, he wasn't the worst manager that you had last season.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. But then after that, yeah, absolutely. But Rossini, I mean, and then having McFarlane for the last 6 games, taking them to a cup final, the mind boggles at the idiocy of this.
So, Jonathan,
you know, we could manage better than them, and I've been watching for 40 years. You know, but blimey, you just. The despair of having to watch. So many of my mates said, I don't want to renew my ticket. I don't want to go anymore. The football is so dreadful. And also some of the best. Santos, I mean, going to United, Santos had a very, very average season. And what's going to happen? What's he going to do with Lavia? Will he be injured again? And all these players, just huge question marks against them. And you hope that the manager will galvanise them into something. I really hope. He's obviously a terrific manager. It's shades of Hoddle coming in 1973 because... I was watching some of the video on the Chelsea website of him drilling 40-yard passes for them to actually then knock into the net.
He can still play now.
Yeah, exactly. But we're also all thinking, well, they're going to be really. The respect for this man is so enormous, and this is also what I feel that Brett Roger was clearly influenced by was having a terrific, wonderful player, and doing what he did with Leverkusen was absolutely superb, Alonso. So there's all this potential. And I go into every season always hoping it's going to be great, but in this instance, they've got to get rid of so much of the dead wood, but unless he feels somehow that he can, mutate them into something decent. It's something like getting Delap had, I mean, having been so good in the Club World Cup, was dreadful. Yeah. It just seemed to be like a kind of, I don't know, just like a bruiser, just going around hitting people in the face and falling over.
He played like he's Argentinian.
I was about to say, maybe learn a few things from Enzo
that's
Fernandez.
What he learned. But also, talking of that, Fernandez is lots of people don't care if he gets transferred or not. His attitude was always towards the ends of games that he didn't feel that we weren't winning, he would actually start kicking people. That was an absolute regular of what he did for the team, and occasionally he would come up with something, and all right, he scored the goals and he got lots of assists, but nonetheless he never, if you're paying 100 million for a player, you want a Lampard, for me. And we haven't had a Lampard, and perhaps he can, if he stays, can they make him into that?
Well, Jonathan, I mean, if he's kicking players at the end of games, at least he was consistent with that in the World Cup final.
It was.
But you talked about Deadwood there. I mean, Alejandro Garnacho, would he be one who would fit in that category?
What? His default was just to go inside. Nobody ever went on the outside and took anybody on. It was just, well, once again, whether this philosophy was bred into them by Maresca, who really was such careful football. When you see if you can't see an opportunity for a pass, don't play it. Whether that was bred into them and they never got rid of it, I don't know. But Garnacho really didn't benefit from being under Maresca at all. That he was hopeless by the end of the season. All his confidence had gone. Then once again, you have this feeling. There's the fact he's taking Jackson with him as well. Can he make Jackson into something? Can he find a spot for him in the team? That's always that feeling that you have with players. Can the manager get out of the base metal and make it into gold? It's that kind of thing.
I think I'm looking at Chelsea now, and I was just saying to Marcus before you came in, mate. If Chelsea buy the right type of players, especially the ones they've been linked with, and they slot into this sort of 3-4-3 system. So I'm looking at Reece James as sort of like a right centre back. I'm thinking you go and get Lacroix or John Stones. I think
Stones is there for the
John
taking.
Stones is there for the taking. I know he's had injury problems, but Chelsea
That's
got
maybe
one.
the problem, though. It's the injuries.
Yeah,
They've got so
but you
many
manage
of them
him.
at the moment.
You manage him. You got one game a week.
It's true. That's
fine.
the advantage, isn't it? It's one game a week.
And he's a
Chelsea
free.
European.
And he's on a free. I think you get him in there, then you need a left centre back potentially, right? Then, of course, you need to replace Marco Correa, but Kende is a fantastic wing back, really young and bright. Gusto, right wing back, and then maybe one more. You need to get a new keeper, absolutely.
Oh,
Sanchez
but that hasn't
is not
been
the one.
mentioned at all. It's never mentioned at the beginning
You've
of
got
the
to
season.
get a new keeper between him and Jorgensen. Is the other one?
Yeah, I think Jorgensen wants to go. He wants to get game time.
Get rid of both of them. They're not good enough. But yeah, you get rid of Delap. Maybe Jackson can be the backup to João Pedro, because I think João Pedro is excellent.
Terrific player.
Get rid of Neto. He's up and down. Get rid of Gittins. That was a waste of money.
That was a strange one.
God.
I mean,
So Chelsea still got a bit to do, but if they do it right,
yeah, but that's the question, though, Flex. I mean, Jonathan, Chelsea, right? Obviously, they're slightly different to other Premier League sides in that they can have a really bad season and they'll still win a trophy. Do you know what I mean? Like next season, Xabi Alonso, I honestly don't know what to expect from them, because they could be challenging. They are that side, aren't they? That whatever's going on. For a while, obviously, under the previous regime, whatever was going on, they were always good for a trophy or always good for a cup run or whatever.
But that's because they had great players.
Well, of course. But right now, under this ownership, it does seem like a bit of a madhouse. You named all the managers there last season, and Chelsea fans didn't like any of them. And I think some other fans, they think, but Enzo Maresca did this. I witnessed it for myself. I went there a couple of times, and the reception he got wasn't great. Rodgers going there, he's not going to get any European football next season, despite Aston Villa were in the Champions League. But he's chosen to go there, which I find really interesting. Does that make you excited for the Premier League season? The fact is that Xabi Alonso has obviously sold what he wants to do to Rodgers, hence he's gone there. And you do have a new manager, and you've signed an established, although he's young, a proper Premier League player.
Yeah, naturally, huge excitement. Yeah, and also what the potential for this going to be. I mean, it also depends on who he sells. They will sell. They did that last year, didn't they? I think they balanced the books. I think 300 million they managed last year to sell. But he will work with them, and I think the pre-season and the friendlies they have will see him come up with a pattern of play that he wants to see whether these players are capable of doing it. He wants his way of playing, and if some of them can't do it, they're off. But it's all these extras they've got to get rid of. Disarcy, they've got to get rid of Badiashile.
Disarcy, I forgot about him. Yeah, he's come back.
That's right.
Yeah, they've all come back from the loans. They've got They've got David Fofana from Strasbourg. They've got Oscar Kellerman, Washington. Then there's Paez, who was supposed to be this great boy wonder, who just hasn't. I think he's got family trouble or something. He's back in South America. But it's the policy they had, the owners, of just buying youth, and thinking somehow that this would break the mould of the Premier League was so misguided. Oh, my goodness me. Dreadful. So this is really interesting to see them now almost breaking what they had established. I mean, I'm intrigued to see if they will get any other top signings in, because I thought they only wanted to pay them, the certain price ranges. I think it was 180,000 a week. Well, they're going to have to go in much higher than that, aren't they? And it's on performance. It's performance related as well, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but no, I'm deeply excited because I can see the potential, as you've established. If it's Pedro and it's Palmer and it's
Rodgers,
and Rodgers,
That's
you've got, and also
three.
Estevo on the right wing if he's not injured.
Get him right wing back.
Give him a chance. He's a terrific player. Well, we all loved that. He just got injured and didn't play enough. And also, if Caicedo plays a lot better this season, because he somehow went off a bit. If the season before he was magnificent. And as I say, I'm up in the air about Fernandes. But I think whether they're keeping Lavia just kept getting injured all the time. And then when he came on, he wasn't performing. I think, perhaps you do. But he was supposedly a class act once upon a time. But Hato, there's somebody else very good indeed, actually. His season went last year. So I think he'll be in the mix.
Yeah.
But no, it's a potentially very exciting, which is fantastic because there were lots of us who were thinking, God, I think I'd rather stay at home and play with the cat.
They certainly needed to do something. Lovely chatting to you, Jonathan. Well, good luck to Chelsea for the new season, and thanks for chatting to us.
Great stuff. Thanks for having me on, boys. Thank you.
Nice one.
Nice one.
All the best.
Yes, you're listening to The Social